Can we get this together? There we go. We're live on the gram too. We official. We all set. What's up, y'all? Happy Thursday. Appreciate y'all for being here today. This is Leveraging Your L's, where we talk about, some of the challenges that we've dealt in our business, some of the L's that we've taken, and we try to share those with our peers, with our notary community, to help them avoid those same pitfalls that we weren't able to avoid. My name is Rafael Jimerson, also known as Stamp. We also have our lovely co-host in the building. We have Tierra Bryant, the Efficient. What's going on, T?
Oh man, what's up? It's been like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. I was supposed to be on here last week, but so it shows proof that we're both active in our businesses. We're not just here just talking. Oh, yo, you should do this. You got to do that. Like, no, we actually do the things that we actually talking about. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. Yeah, everything's been good. Been moving along with our event, pitching, weddings, all of that stuff. It's exciting. I always say this. One thing I love about entrepreneurship is like you get to be like an innovator. Like you just get to create things and you just throw it out there. So that's what I love about it. But yeah.
How's it been? How's the process and everything coming along with that event? Because I know it's not easy to put together an event.
No,
got a lot of moving parts involved.
Yes. I absolutely underestimated everything about this, especially being it like a new event of its kind. Like, you know what I mean? Those things add like extra elements. And then on top of that, like I'm not in the event, like, coordination part of the wedding industry. Like I'm not a wedding planner or anything like that. So I don't go through those timelines. I go through the timeline of my 30-minute ceremony. So it's a lot different. But I love it because one thing that I learned in entrepreneurship as well is you got to learn new skills. Like this is the season to learn new skills. If you want to do something like this moving forward, you got to learn the skills now. And especially because I see myself being like, adding event curator as a part of, my my list of like services, like moving out of like, maybe officiating like down the line. Now I can be more someone who can pitch sponsorships and stuff like that and be able to lock in this and get vendors and be more of like a connector than, someone who is presenting a service. So it's cool just seeing the transitions and all the opportunities that are like in this space. You don't know it's there until you start talking to other people and just exploring other like interests you got and then figuring out what's the skills you need to make your interest profitable. So, all right, work. So
have you been documenting everything?
I should, right?
Yeah, I would assume with doing something like this, you would document it because, for the next time around you choose to do it, it's going to be much easier than it would be the first time around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just like so much of like gathering information and then putting something together, letting it get, chewed up by people, rephrasing it, putting it out there again. So I feel like I'm in that, but it is something to be said. Because when I was researching, how to put together a sponsorship pitch, how to like sponsor and pitch to alcohol companies and stuff like that, because it's something so specific, you'll be surprised there's not a lot of information out there, or the information is very scarce where it's like, they tell you one thing, it's like, buy my pro pack or whatever. But as far as like just finding information of how to put it together and all that other stuff, it really wasn't that much. So you never know. It's always a new revenue stream somewhere.
Yeah. I'm excited for when it launches. You got everything together because man, that's not an easy thing to do, to put together events. I mean, it's like I said, it's a lot of moving parts involved. Just to experience the person who you become through the entire process.
I know. Every time you're like, I'm proud of myself because you got, one thing done that you was like, I had no idea how to do this when I first said I was going to do it. So it's an accomplishment just in that. I think one of the lessons is just celebrating the small wins, celebrating correction, because that means that they at least understand it. They just need a little bit more clarity. It's not like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's like, oh no, that makes sense. Just, move this number here and make it bigger and explain it like this. And it's like, oh, okay, word.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to when you launching launch it and get folks in the building, man. Yeah, I hope you record it too, because we need to see that.
Got to. But yeah, how you been?
Extremely busy. I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed. I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stretching myself. I'm doing more things that I thought I was capable of. I've been more focused on doing on the operation side. So I like doing signings. I actually like, hanging out with clients. That's what I like to do. But in order for me to scale and, hit that big goal of what I'm trying to accomplish, I can't do all the signings.
Right.
And so I've been trying to focus on doing more delegation. Shout out to my VA, man. She has been killing it. Oh man, she has been so helpful for me. So that's been helpful. And trying to focus more on the operational side, trying to step away from doing the signings. Every now and then I still try to, get to the signing table and do a signing here and there, but I can't do like the 5 to 7, 5 to 10 signings a week like I used to. Like nowadays I probably may do like 1 or 2 a week, if that. So it's been a very interesting experience, to say the least. This month got 19. I don't know. I think we've got 19 appointments on the calendar so far this month.
Yes.
I don't know the exact number that's been completed, but yeah, the signings are coming in, continuing to network, continuing to meet new people, trying to still getting in front of these estate planning attorneys.
Yep.
Just trying to find different ways to add value and just keep trying to rinse and repeat the process. So everything has been going well. I have no complaints at all. Just a matter of me just continuing to if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I know oftentimes last year and even years prior, you feel like you're doing the right thing, but you feel like you're not. Even though when things are going right, you feel like you're not doing the right thing. So you feel like you got to find something new that you got to do. You got to implement. Where this year, like I said, I which we'll touch on later on today, but I feel very clear about what I've been doing as of late. So it's a matter of just continuing to be consistent, day in and day out, and don't do anything different. Just keep doing what we've been doing.
I love that, because I feel like the last leveraging hours we were talking about like what to do in your slow season. And I feel like one of the things that we talked about is like improving your processes, but also like if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Like if it's something that's already working for you, maybe focus on how to amplify it. You know what I mean? Than trying to, find a crack in it. So that's what's up. We love to see something working. That just means, 10x.
Facts. Yeah, just doubling down on what I've been doing. I'm really excited for what's to come this year, because like I've been really clear about what I've been doing. And I think also what's been helping too is I've gotten coaching. So I've always invested in coaching. I want to say not always, but I would say probably in 2020 is when I actually started investing in coaching. And when you invested in coaching, especially when you some of the rates that they charge of some of the coaches out there, initially it's scary, because like, man, because we want things to happen so fast, right? Okay, if I pay you $1,000 for this coaching, okay, I need this to work like right now. Oftentimes it doesn't work like that, right? You got to learn the skills first, and then once you apply the skills and then you rinse and repeat it, then it's going to say, okay, the skills are continuing to be refined over and over again, to where like the coaching that I invested in years ago was paying off. So so we're going to talk about why coaching matters, right? So let me take you back to 2020. So I invested in coaching for referral networking, right? Knowing how to network, because when you first get into entrepreneurship, you don't know these things unless you come from a background of sales. That's different. But if you don't have no experience at all, you kind of like just like, all right, what do I do here? Right. So one of the things that I invested in was networking, learning how to network, knowing who's your ideal client, knowing how to be a connector, connecting people to help them get business. And that first year or two, I was really struggling, just trying to figure out like, okay, is my messaging right? Am I helping this person get results? And when you don't see those results, like I said, within that first year or so, kind of like, okay, why did I pay all this money for? Right? What did I pay this money for? Because I'm not getting the results from it. But last year, and then even in going into this year, I'm starting to see those results starting to pay off, because I feel more confident in my ability to connect people with our ideal client. helping people, discover who their referral partners is and things of that nature. So coaching, man, it's been very helpful for me. And I've even gotten some one-on-one coaching again this year, as far as business goes. And one of the things that's helped me with coaching is I'm no longer second guessing myself. Right. So when we find that one thing that works, whether if it's networking, whether if it's cold outreach, whether if it's warm outreach, whatever you're doing, where you seeing some results, but you don't feel like you're getting the results you assume you're supposed to get right away, you second guess yourself.
Yeah.
Right. But with hiring a coach this year, especially for my business, man, it's been very helpful for me to hear those words of reassurance, right? Because you feel like you're executing, but you don't really know because it's just you, right? You don't have no one on the outside to really tell you if you're really doing the right things, if you're really on track.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to my coach, shout out to Andre Hatchett. One of those ones, man.
Yeah.
He's very helpful for me, and really, really helpful for me, just helping me in my process and helping me gain clarity where it's like, okay, if he's telling me this is working, right? I know he's one of those ones in his business. I know I'm on to something. So I'm no longer second guessing myself. It's like, all right, whatever I put my mind to, and I'm seeing the results from it, I'm accepting those results for what it is, and then just keep on pushing forward, and no longer have to think like, okay, am I doing this right or not? So you've had this experience before. Yeah. Yeah, man, coaching, man, it helps.
It's crazy because while you were talking, I was thinking of 3 questions because I always feel like we talk about, the benefits of coaching. But I think the 3 questions that I want us to talk about is, when do you know you need to get a coach? So when did you know you needed to invest in a coach? How do you go about finding a coach? Like, how do you go about finding a coach that aligns with what you want? Do they need to be in the same industry? Stuff like that. And then the last one is, how do you make sure you're teachable? So having a coach means nothing if you're not teachable. So like, what are some of the qualities of being, teachable so that you can make the most out of the situation, out of your time put together, and out of the money you just invested to get all of these, you know what I mean? These skills at a quicker pace or whatever it is that you're looking for. I guess the 4th one is, how do you determine what you're looking for from your coaching, like sessions, program, mentorship, whatever?
I say so that first question was, how do you know when you need a coach, right?
Yes. Yep.
So I heard a quote the other day that if your best thinking has gotten you to where you at, then you need to hire someone to help you get to where you're trying to get to, right? So how did I know when I needed a coach? I had a goal set for last year and I didn't hit that goal as far as a revenue goal. And I felt like I was doing good. I felt like I was working hard and doing all those things that you need to do, right? But I felt like there was something missing. And like I said, I was in this state of confusion. Like, I know what I wanted to do. I feel like I was doing those right things, but I wasn't really too sure of myself. And so sometimes when you feel like you're doing something, and I was getting some results last year. Don't get it twisted. Like, results. But where I was trying to get to, I didn't feel like I was at that level yet. And then I was, I go to YouTube University, and I was watching some content on, self-improvement, right? I was watching a lot of like Alex Hormozy content, and one of he had a video about sales. And at the end of the video, he was talking about investing in yourself, right? You can invest in. He was telling a story about, I guess he had an uncle in some country where they was really doing well for themselves. They had this business, they had a bunch of real estate and all this stuff, and then I guess the government took all that stuff away from him, right? And they didn't have nothing else to show for it. Meanwhile, his dad, I guess, came here to America, and they could take your house, they could take your assets, but they can't take this up here, right? They can't take the knowledge, they can't take those skills with you, right? That's always going to stay with you. So regardless of how the market is performing, regardless of what you have, they can take everything, but they can't take it. They can't take your knowledge, right? So that stood out to me. So I was like, all right, it makes sense, because I didn't, I invest in stocks, Roths, and all on IRAs, and sometimes we have this assumption that these things are going to save us. Right. That quote is, that quote of what is that quote, where no one's coming to save you. Right. And I apply those same things to Bitcoin and all those things, right? Those are great assets to have, but at the end of the day, we are our greatest asset. Right. So I never thought of it like that. Well, I was like, all right, well, maybe I need to, invest a little in personal development to get me to where I want to get to. So that's when right there and there it hit me. It's like, okay, I need to, even though I was doing some of those things initially in the past, I kind of shied away from it last year. And then even going into this year, it wasn't actually my goal to actually invest in personal development. But after that video at the top of January, I was like, oh yeah, I need to invest into my personal development, invest into my skill set so I can be I could be the best asset that I can be for myself.
Right.
That's the second question.
It's like, how do you go about finding a coach? Like,
got it. Right.
What
So
are you looking for?
my process is a little different. I mean, everyone's process is going to be different. Me, I'm in the notary industry. I want to find a coach that's in the similar industry who's already done what I've done before and where I'm trying to be where they're at. Right. So I want to find a mentor or a coach who's already doing those same things, whether it's running a signing agency, has an online academy, has an online business, already doing the things that I've already been doing, that I'm doing now. So shout out to Andre Hatchett. He's someone that, again, I actually learned about how to start a signing agency through him, through Notary November, and that completely changed my life. Like seriously, I took that class 3 years ago, and I think I paid like $250. I think I paid $250 for that class. I don't even know what's the return on the investment, but I'm pretty sure it's way over 1,000%. Way over 1,000%. Way over 1,000%.
Right.
Just from taking that class and learning the ins and outs of how to start a signing agency and how to operate it in general. And so from that class, I'm still doing what I'm doing to this day. Right. I'm not in the vending machine business anymore. I'm not in financial services. I'm not doing any of those things anymore. Yeah. Ever since I took in that class, I've been strictly focusing on notary, and it's been continuously paying dividends for me every single day. Yeah, you want to find someone that's in a similar industry, that's where they've done what you've done already, and you're there where you want to be at. That's something I want to strive to. So that was sort of my line of thinking in that process. The third, and what was the third one?
The third one is like, what are qualities of someone who's coachable, teachable?
Probably gonna rub some people the wrong way with this one. Qualities. You got to be accountable. Got to be accountable. You got to be open to criticism. You got to be open to criticism, whether constructive criticism at that. For me, I play sports growing up, so I played a lot of basketball growing up, organized and on the blacktop as well. A lot of times we say a lot of mean stuff to each other on the court, whether it's talking crazy or just having coaches. Like I used to have a coach who would just run down on you if you're doing something wrong, right? Yeah. And some of that stuff has paid off for me because I know how to accept criticism. He's not saying, they're not saying anything personal about you. They're not talking about your mom. They're not talking about you as a person. Like they're talking about your skill set, what you're doing on the floor, right? And those same things are going to apply to your business. Like, right, if you let's say, for example, right, if I have a goal to make 50 phone calls this week and I only did 15, I can't at the end of the week, I can't say, well, at least I made 15 calls. Like, no, you were supposed to do 50 phone calls. What are you doing? Right. What is holding you back from making those phone calls? What is holding you back from talking to from doing your one-on-ones or talking to the people? What is holding you back from doing those certain things? So you got to have someone that's going to hold you accountable, and you got to be willing to be held accountable too. Right, because we're all not exempt. We all make mistakes. We're all not perfect. But oftentimes, if we don't have no one there to hold us accountable, if you're not willing to be teachable and willing to, not second guess the person who you hired to coach you, and oftentimes you'll find yourself, being better off than you was before. So you got to be teachable. You got to be accountable, especially in this business. And also too, with the type of business that I run as a signing agency. Gotta have some type of leadership qualities at that. Oftentimes I have notaries that make mistakes, but I hold those mistakes for them. I'll be willing to go to bat for them, right? Because for my client, because at the end of the day, I care about just making sure the job get done. And if it's something on my end where I left out something on the instructions or something of that nature, I gotta hold that. I can't blame the notary for that, right? Yeah. A lot of accountability, and like I say, you got to be teachable as well. If you're not willing to be accountable for yourself or your actions, then
Thanks. I like that. And then my last one was, how do you essentially like create goals or just a realistic outcome for your coaching sessions? Because we already know you can get unrealistic with thinking that everything that you pay for is going to, again, get that ROI tomorrow. You can be unrealistic in thinking that your coach is going to do everything for you and you don't have to do anything yourself. You can be unrealistic with having these, really big goals, but you're not, practically giving yourself time to, accomplish them or even addressing them within your classes to even get you to that goal. So how do you make your goals?
Interesting. Try to be realistic in a sense. It's a process.
Yeah.
Right. We don't just go into business. Like me, when I came in entrepreneurship, I was gassed up off YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'm about to make 200,000 a year right off the gate. I'm about to have clients, I'm about to have clients blowing me up. They're gonna be looking for me. I'm gonna be in demand. As soon as I quit this job, it's over. It's it's a wrap. Get ready for me. And I was in for rude awakening. That was not the case.
Yeah.
That was not the case. Man, my head was about this big. My head couldn't even fit in the garage when I first started. I couldn't fit my head in the door when I first. That's how full of myself I thought I was. But, nah, man. No, you soon as you find out when your phone is dry, you think you about to get phone calls. You don't got a website.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back in time and just just have a conversation with myself doing that. But yeah, man. So as far as like goal setting, I try to be realistic because again, it's a process to where you got to start small and then build. Once you hit certain benchmarks, it's like, hit this benchmark, let me shoot up, let me go to the next benchmark, go to the next level. So for me, I do daily goals. I have daily, so I set like my big goal for the year, and then I break it down to quarterly, and then I break it down to monthly, I break it down to weekly, and then I break it all the way down to daily. So if I'm doing the daily actions that hit me to that goal, that's going to help me get to that weekly goal. If I'm hitting my weekly goal, that's okay. Then I'm going to be on pace to hit my monthly goal. And if I hit my goal for that month, then I'm going to be on pace to hit that goal quarterly. And then if I hit that goals quarterly, then when I look at the end of the year, you look up and be like, oh man, I didn't realize I hit my goal sooner than I thought I would. So part of it too is like reverse engineering. That's something I'm still learning as well. So all right, we have this goal that we're going to set. How do I reverse engineer that to where, okay, if I know
Okay. And that froze.
and we are back. My bad.
Okay.
Don't know what's up with the internet. But I lost my train of thought. I was talking about reverse engineering your goals. So if I know I'm supposed to do, if my goal is to do 100,000 or 150,000 or so in a year, I need to figure out how many signings do I need to do per day, per week. How much do I need to charge per signing? And then that's how I'm able to determine, okay, if I know how many signings I need to do per day, I know how much to charge for each signing. I know how many I need to do per week on a monthly basis. As long as I focus on those specific numbers and do those things on a day in and day out basis, I should be able to reach my goal. So kind of like my thought process as far as goal setting. Now, if you're doing apostilles, if you're doing fingerprinting and even weddings, I mean, obviously that process is going to be a little different. But yeah, I would say, man, reverse engineer it. Have that number set. Find out what the number of assignments that you would need to do on a daily basis, and on a per weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and then you should have a good idea of what you need to do to hit that goal.
Or yeah, I would have to agree. I would say I think coaching is super important. I think it has so many elements, you know, of benefits to it. Ones that are like super direct that we can see, and ones that are indirect that you can't really see. Like you said, that confidence and just, you know, just feeling more knowledgeable and stuff like that. And just having a more creative way to think about, you know, doing things and standing out. I think that's a lot different than, okay, now I'm using this software because I understand how to use it and how, you know, this system is good for my business and stuff. So I think to answer the same questions, really, you know, coaching is needed when you have kind of like a vision, but you really don't have like clarity or direction on how to get there. You're struggling to find it, even with YouTube University, even with, if you can't find a direction with free resources, then it's clearly time to go to paid resources. That's probably the most basic, way that I can say it. And sometimes a lot of that is just really just trying to understand what it is, like what your big picture is, and, you know, how it is that you want to get there. Again, if you just need more clarity, then sometimes going into like paid coaching or finding like a mentor is going to benefit you, especially when they're in your industry, especially when they are doing what you want to do, or they're just been in the industry, you know, above you or longer than you. That's always going to be a benefit. But it's funny because now this might rub people the wrong way, but hey, what can we do? My cousin is like really big on mentorship, but her thing was spreading out her mentors, so having a multiple number of mentors. So I think she said she has about 4, but one is like for personal development, one is for like, you know, negotiating contracts, because she works like in a space where you can negotiate your contract, and you have to know, you know, how to be able to do that in order to get the best contract. It was just like different things that you are basically like needing help with. She had multiple people for that, and not just people who look like her, right? So people who didn't look like her. She had like, as a Black woman, she had like white male mentors, because it's just a different mindset. They have different accessibility. So sometimes you don't have to be in your same industry, or you don't have to have someone who looks like you, which I feel like that's something that we gravitate to because we want to feel familiar with that person. But I think that's one that leans into like a characteristic of being like coachable or teachable. Like you have to be able to be receptive, and like you said, Rafanga, be accountable and be open to like criticism, because it's going to be constructive if you don't take it personal, right? So there's plenty of times where you've seen someone taking like personal criticism or taking like a critique personally, and now that's hindered them, you know what I'm saying, on the other side. It's funny because I watch Hell's Kitchen, which is Gordon Ramsay show, obviously a cooking competition. And so I've seen every single season. Like I love cooking competition shows. But more than that, for this last season, it was 2 guys who were, I mean, similar in like their level of expertise, their leadership. Like they were very much neck and neck to like, you know, projectively win the competition, except for this one clear moment where Gordon Ramsay like does like some banter with the guy and tells him that he looks like a sack of shit, which is, it ain't nice, but you know what I mean? It's his banter, it's his language, is how he talks to people. And it was after celebrating that he was the first person to win a black jacket. He just drank a little too much. And when I tell you, that man talked about that all day. He talked about it all day. Like it affected his performance when they had their nighttime cooking. He talked about it all throughout the dorms, to the point where the next day, Gordon Ramsay was like, "Are you okay? Like, is something going on?" And he was like, "Yeah, it kind of hurt my feelings." And he was like, "That's called banter." You know what I'm saying? Like something simple like that. And I felt like, even though Gordon Ramsay would never say it, even as a viewer, I can see that brought down his perception, because he couldn't take that, like, you know what I'm saying, level of criticism or banter or whatever. So, you know, you definitely have to make sure that you have that quality when you're looking for coaching or when you're paying for coaching, because at the end of the day, you get what you pay for, right? You pick this person for a particular reason. You want their insight because of what they've done in their life. So you at least have to be receptive to what it is they're saying, especially if their whole purpose is to help you get further along in what it is that you want to do. So it just makes the most sense. And then lastly, I think getting goals for your coaches or like for your coaching sessions. Again, if you have an idea of why you picked this person and you probably picked them because you, again, need direction on what it is you want to do, focus on what it is that you want to do. And like you said, reverse engineer it and let those be the goals for each time you're meeting with your mentor. Don't just come to the space and think that they're supposed to provide you with all of this information if they have no idea what direction you're going in, right? So you need to come in with an agenda or direction because you want specific advice for what you got going on. So you have to let them know what you got going on. So even for me in my fellowship program, like I was grateful because I came out of the notary world where everyone is a notary and people are not like professional wedding officiants. They're part-time wedding officiants. They're convenient wedding officiants. And there's $1 billion wedding industry. So I want to go to someone who's already in that industry.
Yeah.
And then it's interesting because they asked us like, what are you looking for in this fellowship program? And I'm like, oh, I want to, create this, and create this. And on the other side of the program, I now have named all of these things that I wanted to create when before all I had was this idea or this bigger picture. Now I have a process. Now I have, what this could look like. And I just have more tools and resources around the ideas that I have to like actually create them and put them into the open market. So that's a lot of what coaching teaches you too, how to take an idea and materialize it and put it into the market and how to test it and, to garnish it to be successful. So can't underestimate coaching.
You can't. You give out a lot of gems. I wanted to touch back on the criticism. You should embrace it. Yeah. Actually paying for. My time just flies by and then does. I know. Coach helps you. Sure, they'll let you. Are we good?
It's coming back now.
We good to go? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. We had a storm, so where I live at, so it's kind of knocked out the. I don't know what's going on with the service as of late. It's been really weird. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, customers will let you know how they feel, right? So if you don't know how they'll learn you real quick. Right. So if the coach doesn't help you with criticism, trust the clients will let you know. Clients, right. Especially if they're paying you money. Oh yeah, they will tell you the truth. Yeah. I remember I had 2 signings in 2022. I had 2 signings back to back out of 1-star and a 2-star.
Damn.
Oh man, yeah. But thank God that was on Thumbtack and not on Google.
Yes, right.
So thank y'all for leaving that on Thumbtack and not on Google. Man, that would have hurt if it was on Google. But the criticism is supposed to help you, right? It's not for you to take It's not for you to take personal because at the end of the day, it is business, right? It's supposed to refine you. It's supposed to help you improve your process. So if they telling you something if they telling you you're doing something wrong, it's not for you to be like, oh, why are you getting at me like that? It's like, no, this is supposed to help you. Because I'm actually thankful for those. At the time, I wasn't thankful. I wasn't too happy about it.
Right.
I'm now looking back, it's like, okay, I'm actually thankful for them leaving that negative review because that helps me. That lets me know I need to be on top of my game, right? Yeah. I need to make sure I'm hiring the best people, right? I need to make sure that we're communicating on the highest level. I need to make sure our service is on the highest level. Yeah. But just imagine if I didn't get that bad, if I didn't get those reviews, right? You could be doing something, you could be doing the same thing wrong over and over and over again, right? So you get till you finally have someone that tells you, like, hey, you may have been getting by, but really you need to do this instead of doing X, Y, and Z. So I'm only here to say this now, so that way down the line, you don't trip up or fall. Now, just imagine if I kept doing the wrong thing and I come across a client who could potentially change our business.
Right.
We come across a client who could send us 20 to 30 signings a month.
Yeah.
We don't even get that opportunity to get those 20 to signings, signing 20 to 30 signings a month because our process is wrong. Yeah. We're not communicating on the highest level. Our service is trash, right? And oftentimes we got to lose. It's sad that sometimes we have to lose clients for us to really understand, like, oh, I need to get my stuff together. And I've lost business.
Yeah.
Let it be known, I've lost business. I've lost title company business. I've lost attorney business. And these are clients where they're like, yes, and it's consistent business, but I wasn't on top of my game like the way I should have, right? Now, if I would have invested in coaching before, like I should have done, I probably would not have lost that business. But sometimes you got to take a few losses, which is again the purpose of the show. You got to take a few losses to to get a clear understanding of what not to do and what you should be doing. So, yeah, man, coaching matters, man. Coaching matters. And I also want to add too, running with a group of like-minded people, definitely will help as well. What I found if I'm running with a group of like-minded people is, it forces you to change up your habits, right? If you have to, some of those, I mean, we all got bad habits, right? But some of those bad habits can stop us. Sometimes we could be in a way of our own blessing,
right?
It may not be that person. It may not be the people on the outside. Most times it's us. 99% of the times it's mostly us. For the most part.
It is, yeah.
Times it's mostly us, right?
Yeah.
So we running with the right people who, again, they may be further ahead than us. They may be willing to reach back to us, to bring them up with them. Sometimes it help you to change your mindset, change your habits, right? To help you, avoid that procrastinating, right? As far as like your daily to-dos, are you doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, right? You have people that's gonna hold you accountable. You have people that they have failure, man. I hear you, but you wasn't supposed to do that, right? This is supposed to be cool, right? Sometimes you need people in your corner, right? That's going to do that for you, because you could be alone. You could be a lone wolf, and I was like that for a long time. Yeah, lone wolf. Don't think I need anyone. I think I can do all this by myself. And then I look up, I see someone who's probably been in business for 6 months. They way further ahead, right? And I'm thinking like, well, damn, they just got started. How they doing already? Why? Because they're running with a group of like-minded people. Yeah, right. Pay for coaching. They're one of the things that I wasn't to do. They came into the business knowing right away, like, oh, I don't know everything, so I need to get help. Yeah. Me, I come into it like, oh, I don't need y'all. I got this. Yeah. We are trying to figure out, like, man, why I'm not supposed to be there? Because I'm not doing those things. That's what people are doing. So deal with a group of like-minded people. You can't be the lone wolf, especially in business.
Yeah, I would have to second that. Definitely putting yourself in like community, and even different type of communities, right? Like a community within your industry, a community that are just, entrepreneurs that are again within different industries. Like so many amazing ideas came from when we were with the Todd Capital Mastermind. Like everybody was like-minded in terms of what they wanted to do in their business and how they want to show up. But we all had different businesses. So we all had different ways that we were creatively bouncing ideas off of each other and just sharing what we got going on. And then something like the Wedding Efficient Academy, which is all people that are wedding officiants from across the nation. And now our conversations are a lot different. We're talking about marketing strategies and just creative ways and what to do with our couples and, tips and stuff like that. So it's two different types of communities that are serving, two different types of reasons or goals within your business. So definitely getting around those. I've started to come into enjoying like working sessions, like co-working sessions. I think because I, do this full time and be home a lot. I like this because it's kind of like having a coworker without having a coworker. Like it's really my friend, but like they're working on their business. I'm working on my business, or they're doing their 9-to-5 work and I'm doing my business work. And so, that time allows you to, be accountable, but like in community as well. Because a lot of entrepreneurship is very lonely. Like you do a lot of your work alone if you're not in front of like a client in which you have to be on your best behavior. Like, you know what I mean? So it adds like a different like layer. Networking groups would be really good. And even when you're starting to branch out and get those strategic partnerships, like having like actual relationships with like, other business owners. And it's just like on a one-on-one, like that's going to make a difference as well. I would say even with this event has been great because connecting with the venue owner, of course, now this gives me opportunities for any other ideas I have in the future in which I know who I want to go to if I need a space, right? And then even with the our mixologist, this is my first time working with her. I've literally never met her in person, but her best friend is like someone I went to college with, and we just found out now because she sent him, our pitch, and he was like, "Wait, Tierra?" And it's like, oh, look at that. So you really just don't know who, you will come across who is trying to get into entrepreneurship, and you never know who you'll inspire.
Yeah.
That is, trying to get into entrepreneurship as well. So starting to build a community is going to make a difference in like a lot of different ways.
Community matters. Being in the right environment matters, man. Yeah, you can't do it by yourself.
Nope.
Hard to move because, like I said, being in the community, people got access to information that you may not be privy to.
Right.
I say this all the time. Like I said, I think this is either be my 6th or 7th year in this business. It wasn't until about 4 years in where I didn't realize that notaries network with each other.
Right.
I've said this before, and I was like floored. I was like, why would a notary? Why that at the time it just didn't make sense to me. Like, why would a notary refer me business that when we both do the same exact thing? But then when you understand the reason why that happens, right? Some people, they work 9 to 5. They may not be able to do signings during their experience. And some people just notice. Some notaries actually want to help each other out. Yeah, the real thing. And every notary doesn't do the same thing. Yeah, right. Because when I came into the business, I thought everybody did long signings, but no, everybody doesn't do those. There's got people who do fingerprinting, got people who do apostilles, got people who do estate planning, got people that do just general notary work, got people who just do weddings only. So again, but you won't know these things until you actually get in the communities and actually get with the right people. And then you hear this information, and then it changes. It changes. It's a mindset shift. It changes your whole line of thinking. Yeah, and you just wasted 4 years. Right. And then you like trying to figure out, like, man, I wish I would have knew this stuff ahead of time. There's no telling where I would be. So yeah, getting in the right community matters because just that one piece of information can change everything for you. Yeah.
Nah, I would definitely have to second that. And it's just an important place to like bounce ideas off of each other. Hopefully it's a place where you feel a little bit more like, vulnerable and transparent, because there's a peerness that is like a part of it, right? Like as an entrepreneur and to talking to another entrepreneur, there's just certain things that we understand that when, you talk to someone who hasn't taken this journey, they're just like, okay, like they just don't really get it. They try their best. They just don't really get it. So I think there's just an element of that that we don't speak to, you know what I mean? Like enough. And there's a whole bunch of different, programs and online communities and, places that are just about like networking with other entrepreneurs or just like-minded people who may be in the beginning of their business or whatever. And same thing with notaries. There's notary specific Facebook groups and different like chapters of some of the bigger teaching platforms and, stuff like that. People do notary meetups and do like, free events where people can meet in person and stuff. So all of it's just a lot of opportunities out there for you to kind of figure out where your like community is and where you can get the best like benefit out of like in-person, networking with people.
Facts.
That was good though.
I think that sums it up for us. Get a coach. Yeah. Coach. Get inside the right, get in the right communities, change your environment, and watch how it all changes. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That part. And also you can get quality coaching and find like opportunities to experience that for free. So like, don't underestimate that. Like, it's not just, the wedding program, the Wedding Pro Fellowship for Change program that has opportunities like that. There's like Cornell's, Bank of America Women Entrepreneurship program that has that. Like, there's different programs specifically for minority entrepreneurs and people with, first time entrepreneurs and stuff like that, where they have those kind of mentorship elements, and it's free. Like, it's a program. It's something that you maybe have to apply for and show interest to. But, once you do, again, that opens up a door for you to have that high level coaching at a maybe no cost to you whatsoever.
Facts. Before we head out, we gotta do our shameless plugs. We always got stuff going on. What's going on, T? Let the people know what you got cooking up.
Yeah, so we have our next wedding officiant social for February on the 22nd. That is a Thursday. We cannot wait to see everyone. I'm super excited to say we have three officiants from the Wedding Officiant Academy that got accepted into the Wedding Pro Fellowship for Change program. So I am super excited for them. Over like 400 applicants and only 29 pros got chosen, and 3 of them is in our community. So like, what are we talking about?
Talk that talk.
Is it the Midas touch or what? It's like, nah. But very excited for them, and just to see that their journey is going to be so much different from my journey. So I'm just even more excited for them. And then I'm also a Fellowship for Change ambassador, so that's really exciting. So I get to peek in on parts of like the 2024 class and help them on like a peer level. So excited for that because that's a pilot program through them. And more or less, we really want you guys to get into the Facebook community. There's so many good conversations. There's tips. There's just like a space where people can learn and really just like grow with each other. We're constantly getting new people coming in every day. We have over 1,000 members. We're trying to get to 2,000 because you know what? Why not? Like every other industry got their own mastermind. Like why can't officiants have their own mastermind? And so that's what we got now. So we're excited. And we may be bringing back classes, workshops, but you know, don't quote me.
We need that back.
Yes.
Need it. Yeah, you got 1,000 people in the 1,000 people in it's a Facebook group.
Yeah. Still cooking.
Ooh, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people in the group. I don't got 1,000 people in the Stanford community. There's a lot of people.
Cooking.
Yeah, man, we need more folks getting married, man. Yeah, like I said, I hope we leaving the gender wars, and I haven't seen too much content about the gender war stuff. I haven't seen too much else, so I think we left that in 2020.
Slow down, slow down.
You know, defund a lot. We need to defund a lot of those people.
Yes.
Yeah, defund, because y'all pushing a negative message, man.
Yeah.
You would think there's other folks ain't getting married, but no, it's quite.
They get married. If anything, I feel like the people are like prioritizing eloping. Like they're getting married quicker. Like they're not taking like no 2-year, you know, whatever. Whether they elope and then like plan their wedding over the span of 2 years, or they're getting married the next year after their engagement. You see the turnaround is a lot quicker these days. They ain't playing with y'all. They said off the market, snatched. That's it.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all make sure you serve the Wedding Officiant Social. Make sure you join the Wedding Officiant Academy as well. Yeah, man. Folks get married. I think, like I said, the season is upon us. Officiants, they get paid pretty handsomely too, from what I've heard, especially from what I've heard from you.
Yes.
I've been catting off. I've been saying, yeah, I'm gonna get into officiating, but I always get thrown off track. So.
Sorry, listen, it's a billion people in this world, and so many people are getting married. You ain't missing nothing. It's gonna be there when you're ready.
Facts. Let's go, man. What we got coming up, man? I got a few things coming up, man. We got a 5-day challenge coming up. Very excited about on the 19th through the 23rd. So if you want to learn how to make $1,000 a week notarizing estate plan documents, make sure you join the Estate Planning Notary One-on-One Challenge. It is a 5-day challenge from February 19th to the 23rd. We're going to spend 5 days talking about providing estate planning notary services, going over trust packages, going over wills, advanced healthcare directives, amendments, power of attorneys, and we're going to go over customer acquisition as well. I want to say 95% of my business is mostly estate planning. I do get some loan signings here and there, but not as often as I do estate planning. So if you want to learn how to make this your niche, definitely want to encourage you to sign up. Everything that I'll be teaching in this class, you will not be able to find in the ebook. You will not be able to also find in the estate plan signing one-on-one course. This is going to be all brand new information. So if you're interested, if you are tired of trying to crack into your favorite escrow office's rotation of notaries, if you're tired of trying to get found on directories and you want to take matters into your own hands and build consistent cash flow, if you're also tired of dealing with the up and down nature of loan signings and you want consistent cash flow year in and year out, I definitely want to encourage you to be in the building. I will be sharing pretty much everything that I know. So if you're not in the building, hey, you can always check out the free YouTube information. Definitely check out the free YouTube video, see how that works out. And also we'll still be able to help you out as well. But if you are interested, yeah, you want to learn how to change your business, transform your business, make sure you're in the building. You will be spending 5 days with me. It is going to be overwhelming because I am going to bombard you with a lot of information. We'll have some homework. We'll have some exercises as well. So I'm here to make sure you're equipped with the tools needed. So every time you get a text message from a signing service, you don't even have to think twice. All right. So make sure you like our channel. Right. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share this with a notary or two who could benefit from some coaching. Make sure you subscribe. And as always, I'm always looking for notaries to join our network as well. So the name of my company is Stamper Signings. We specialize in providing estate planning notary services for estate planning law firms. And we're currently looking for notaries to join our network. So if you're a notary looking for new business, not getting too many loan signings, you're not getting too much business in general, and you want to start booking some estate plan signings, make sure you come to Stamper Signings. Come join our network. Make sure you join our Facebook group as well, the Stamper Community. Not only do I post signings in that group, but I also have other notaries who post their signings in the group as well. So you're not going to see too many people complaining about signing services, about not getting paid and all that. That's not what we do. We take matters into our own hands. We don't sweat the small stuff. We're just going to get out here and grab life by the horns and take what's ours. Appreciate you all for being here in the building today. Hope you all got a ton of value from this. I hope you all are going to invest in yourselves because you deserve it. Otherwise, peace. Love y'all.